Hey, what's up YouTube, Skybadger here, and we are back on day 36 of our 22-player Clash of Nations beta tournament series. So the game is coming to an end at the moment, and we're just finishing off taking out Spain, and once that's done, we're going to end the game. So the coalition we were in, and practically still a part of, has enough victory points to win the game. As we can see, 400 victory points, and I have 454. So add those together, we get over 822, about 850. So the reason we're not in it is I told Spain if he didn't join us and make this a lot easier, I'd completely wipe him off the map before we finish the game. So we're just getting ready to do that. Once that's done, we can move forwards and move on. Oh, I could have swore I sent these units en route to holding the caps lock. That's why I'm not selecting them all. Right, shift click all of them, not caps lock. Send them all down here to group up. Yeah, so we're just grouping up a massive army over here that's going to then be escorted by our big ass fleet all the way across these islands to Cuba, invade it, take it out, capture it, and then take out this remaining territory here. Once Spain's gone, we're not too concerned with finishing off Canada. After all, Canada didn't attack us and did not make this any harder than it needed us to be. In fact, Canada made this incredibly easy for us. So, nothing against Canada. There's not really too much to say. I'll just turn off morale map and we can see who controls what territory. Although, I mean, it was pretty clear as is. So, as we can see, Ukraine controls a bit of, I guess that's Europe? Is that still Europe, or is... Yeah, I guess it's Europe, because Middle East is down here and Asia's on the other side, and Asia's not even in this map. So Ukraine controls a bit of Europe, extending down along the Black Sea, all the way down into Greece. He controls areas of North Africa, and actually a large portion of Algeria. Might not look like much, but we only control a few provinces out the back, but he controls the bulk of the mainland. Sweden, our next biggest ally, controls the majority of Central and Southern Europe. We were able to capture a fair bit of Spain, but I mean, ultimately he controls all the stuff that matters. If we have a look, he controls the majority of the cities and industrial centers in the area. He also controls the majority of France and England, and is sharing a little bit of it with Greater Finland. So, you know, that's how the borders ended up in the end. Now, in the coming days, I'm a little worried about all this troop movement. Like, I mean, Ukraine has been nothing but nice to me, but I'm worried about his movements at the moment. Although, if he was going to backstab me, he'd probably send them into my core. I wouldn't send them up to the straight line. He might be going to counter Greater Finland, but I don't like it nonetheless. So I've started reconstruction and redevelopment of my armed forces. However, the lack of iron is slowing me down, and food will soon be an issue once again. My build queue still has a lot of buildings queued up. These are all going towards increasing food production. We have got some light tanks lined up, and I mean, as we get into the late game, I am starting to shift more towards a more mechanized stance. So once these upgrades here are done, I am going to finish off upgrading my infantry armies, because I still have a lot of them, but my main focus is going to shift over to armor, with the investment in medium tanks going into heavy, as well as special artillery and anti-air tank, as well as tank destroyers. So I'll basically research everything, or try to in the time that's left, except armored cars. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Oh yeah, and mechanized infantry. Mechanized infantry packs a real punch, so if you can get that, especially at elite level, it's really useful to have. So that's what's happening there. So I mean, if we have a look at that, I'm building a lot of light tanks at the moment, and also re-equipping my air force just in case something does happen. It would be a shame if we do all this work just for our allies to backstab us. So I doubt it's going to happen, but I'm just playing it safe. To me, it looks as though Ukraine is moving his troops up to the border with Greater Finland. Now, I did tell Greater Finland I'd wipe him out if he didn't move his troops to the other side of the country earlier on in the game. So, I mean, if Ukraine attacks, I'm not going to be too concerned. It'll be, you know, whatever happens will happen. Considering, like we talked about, so many episodes I've whinged about this, the fact that Greater Finland kept troops on our borders, meaning I had to keep back a reasonable sized army to defend myself in case something did go wrong, was really, really annoying. And it still is. Like, I mean, Jesus, that unit there still poses a massive threat. If he was to start raiding with that, he could at least capture the majority of this area down here before I could have aircraft in the region to bomb it out and destroy it. And even then, he would be able to sever my runway network, and that would really inhibit me in a ability to move north. I'd be then forced to fly through Ukraine and fly up and around. So, I mean, instead of heading up straight to the border, I'd have to then go up and then back. So that is a little annoying and a little bit threatening. But I mean, we should be all good. I don't see anything too bad happen. I think, you know, everything's just going to turn out just fine. And then I might actually deploy that up to there. So, you know, I'm still obviously investing in my food economy because, like I've said for the past how many episodes, we have not got that much of a great production. And if we are going to continue to build our armed forces, we definitely need the food to continue doing so. So we're going to still have to focus on that. Iron's holding us back. Got a good... Our oil economy is not actually very well built up, if we have a look at that. The problem is the reason why it is so good is we haven't spent much on mechanized units. Like, we have one fleet. Usually I build at least 3. And our aircraft, our air force is actually pretty small. So, I mean, if we have a look at that, our main 2 provinces, they've got, you know, max infrastructure, but there really isn't much investment. So I could very easily upgrade this and get it really going, but, you know, the next focus really does need to be metal. And I mean, 42,000 a day is actually pretty good, so I'm not too concerned. So I'm going to end the episode here. There's actually not too much to talk about. So we're heading west to finish off Spain, and make sure he does not get a piece of the cake at the end because he did not play nice. And yeah, then we'll end the episode there. So yeah, so there'll probably be like 1 or 2 episodes after this. Yeah, so thank you for watching.